Hey everybody, Marcin here, and today I want to talk about Donkey Kong Bananza, because this is a game that I'm very excited about. I have been enjoying the theory crafting and just seeing how people are finding all these little minute details in the trailer. This whole thing has just been exciting. We have not got a new Donkey Kong game since Tropical Freeze, which was back in 2014, because on the Switch it was a port, because it was originally on the Wii U. So we finally have a brand new Donkey Kong game, and it was the last game announced at the end of a new console direct. That's freaking amazing. But there is one thing about Donkey Kong Bananza that I am a little bit afraid of. It's something that won't affect my enjoyment of the game, and before I get ahead of myself, I'll say what it is. I am a little bit afraid that the game won't do as well as I'm hoping. Now, before I go any further, I just want to say, I think that it looks amazing, and I can't wait to play it. And I'm sure that there's a bunch of people that are excited for. Well, I mean, I know that there are a bunch of people excited for it. However, I do wonder if some of this is within our own bubble. Because sometimes there'll be a game and there's a lot of positive reactions, but it's within their own fans' bubble. And it doesn't really translate outside of that. So when the game comes out, it seemed like there was really good reactions and stuff, and there were, but it wasn't really appealing to the masses. Now, I don't need this game to be some blockbuster for me to have fun with it or anything, but for this to be what seems to be Nintendo really wanting to rejuvenate the Donkey Kong series, I'd really like it to do well. And I'm just not sure if it will. Because already the Switch 2, the price, is more than people expected. And then if you don't get the bundle, Mario Kart World is $80 on its own. So I'm not sure that within around a month's time, people are going to want to shell out another $70 to be able to play Donkey Kong Bananza. Because Donkey Kong Bananza is already kind of checking off a couple of niche things. They could have made a 3D Mario game, and I think already, well not think, I mean I know, it would have already had more eyes. Mario just sells more. So with them gambling on Donkey Kong, I'm happy, and I hope that it does well, but I don't know if it's translating to the general audience. Because you have the niche of it being a Donkey Kong game, which already pegs it down a little bit compared to say Mario. Not in terms of, I'm not comparing it in terms of what game's better or anything. I'm just saying in terms of sales and eyes and what people are paying attention to. So Donkey Kong's already a peg down from what people would pay attention to. And then it's also a 3D platformer. And I think even with Mario, 3D platformers sell less than what the 2D ones do. So then we also have the hands-on impressions. And some of them have not been the best. From what, some people are saying that they're just not really jiving with it. Now again, all of that has no effect for me in terms of me buying the game and enjoying it. And I don't think it really is affecting anyone else that knows that they're going to buy it. I'm just afraid that all of this talk and hype is within our own bubble. That's what I'm scared of. Now, there is some light at the end of the tunnel, though, because even if the game does not sell as well as I'm hoping, I don't think Nintendo will look at that and go, yeah, we're just done with the Donkey Kong series. We tried, all well. I don't think that's going to happen. Because, one, Donkey Kong being as prominent as he is in the Mario Bros. Movie was already a good sign. And they actually threw in cameos of other Donkey Kong characters as well. Like deep cuts. I mean, they had Chunky Kong, which was crazy. He was only in one... he had some appearances, but mainly in one Donkey Kong game. And they hadn't really been referencing that old stuff for a while. So to see that was awesome. Then we also have the Donkey Kong Country area in the Super Nintendo World theme park. That also, why would they put all their money into that to be a relic of the past? I just don't think they would. I think they did that because they're anticipating them really pushing the Donkey Kong series. So even if Bonanza does poorly, I don't think it's the end of it. Because also then we have the whole redesign thing. I don't think they did this redesign just as a last hurrah. I think they did this as, no, we're going to totally rejuvenate this series. And when it comes to the redesign, I think, personally, they may have done it because they just want to start fresh. there's a couple of theories. I guess I shouldn't really get into that. That could be a whole separate video. But with the redesign, to me, it feels like they really want to start Donkey Kong on a fresh thing. That was a terrible way to word it. I could have definitely worded that better, but a fresh slate, fresh plate. I don't know. What is the term? But I think they wanted to make Donkey Kong more of their own while also connecting the worlds of Donkey Kong, because they're not shying away from the past anymore. Cranky Kong wasn't even redesigned. We saw them talking about Rambi. We saw Fossil of Noddy. I don't think they're shying away from the past anymore. So what makes me excited is I feel like they're kind of making the best of both worlds. They have the older stuff that's showing up in Bonanza, so it's not just gone forever, so they're not ignoring the history, but at the same time, they did what I feel like they wanted to do and make Donkey Kong their own. Because with Returns and Tropical Freeze, I feel like Donkey Kong didn't really have an identity anymore. From Returns to Tropical Freeze, those two games are pretty different in terms of the enemies. And by pretty different, I mean drastically. There are pretty much none of the same enemies at all, if at all. Well, there's a couple. Well, I know of the shark. I think there may be another one. I don't know. But regardless, I feel like they want Donkey Kong to have his own identity again. And I think instead of them shying away from all the stuff in the past, they're trying to just combine things to where Donkey Kong is their own, but the worlds are now connected. Because there's also even a further theory I have about the whole connected worlds, but that could be a separate video too. I should stay on topic because I've kind of derailed, but I'm just not sure that all the stuff I talked about is stuff that people are going to care about if they're more of a casual player. I don't know if they care to shell out $70 for the things that I just talked about. For us Donkey Kong fans, I mean, this is just exciting, and I feel like a lot of us are going to dip in and try this game out. But I guess my fear is if the game just doesn't end up jiving with the right people, and it causes the reviews to not be the best, and then it's kind of up to us, the consumers, to really give a good word out for the game, and there's still a chance that the game won't even jive with us. I mean, we don't really know until we have it. But there was one hands-on impression that I had heard where they said they weren't really jiving with it, but they said if they could have just played it on their own, they think that they would have enjoyed it. They felt like since it was a demo and they wanted to get through everything for the sake of, like, coverage, that they didn't really get to enjoy it the way that they would have liked to. So there is that. And it could be possible that this game is just terrible to demo. But at that point, that's also bad in terms of getting the more broader audience to enjoy it. So I don't know. At the end of the day, I have no clue if the game will do well or not. But I have this weird, bad feeling in me that it may not do the best. But like I said, I don't think that would be the end of Donkey Kong if Bonanza did poorly. And also, as us Donkey Kong fans, at least we also are getting this game no matter what. Like, it's coming. We saw it with our own eyeballs. We know it's coming. We're going to be playing it. Nobody's going to stop us. As long as you can get your hands on a freaking Switch 2, because that pre-order process sucked. But other than that, if you can get a Switch 2, you can play Donkey Kong Bananza, and we will finally be playing a new Donkey Kong game in the Donkey Kong franchise, which we have not been able to do since 2014. This is something that's been long overdue. I think it's just the beginning for Donkey Kong, and I'm very excited for Donkey Kong's future, regardless of how well Bonanza does. So let me know in the comments down below on what you think. Do you think Bonanza will do well? Do you think it won't? Let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, I'll see you all later. Take care, everyone.